The Jefferson Award for Education and Literacy goes to Ralph Leverett for his work in special education, particularly for the deaf. Dr. Leverett directs the Master of Education program at Union University. In the classroom, he is a wealth of knowledge, sharing his extensive experience in hearing and language deficiencies.
At Union, he teaches special education, so he teaches teachers, both at the undergraduate and graduate levels, how to work with special needs children. And he is uniquely qualified to do that. He has a PhD from Vanderbilt in program and staff development, speech and hearing science. He has 2 master's degrees, one in audiology and one in special education. He's taught in the public schools for about a dozen years, serving children with special needs. He serves at the West Tennessee School for the Deaf here in Jackson, working with hearing impaired students.
But she still has to come back to context.
I become most passionate, I think, whenever I see how difficult it is, even for sometimes very good students, to find their place in a larger society. Deafness, in particular, is often misunderstood.
He's a hands-on kind of person. Ralph is a doer more than he is a talker, and he's a good talker as well. But he works with children one-on-one at the school and helps them with their speech impairments, which usually come from hearing loss.
Dr. Leverett is an active board member of the STAR Center, the TREDS program at Vanderbilt University, and the Tennessee Association of Audiologists and Speech-Language Pathologists.
He gets to a class in special education, for example, and his knowledge and experience is so deep and vast that he can go unscripted for hours and just speak to the students, not only about what it is, but how to do it.
I've worked with kids who have hearing loss for about 37 years, I guess, and it's a fascinating background, I think, because I wasn't aware that that might be a major until it actually became a major, but the influence of that was actually experiences when I was probably 8 or 9 in Colorado Springs. My grandmother lived in Colorado Springs, and the Colorado School for the Deaf is there. And at that time, it was a small community, and you could easily walk from her house to downtown. And one of the dry cleaners in downtown Colorado Springs hired a lot of students and graduates of the Colorado School for the Deaf, so you'd see them signing. And I think it just was one of those things that began to sink in that long ago.
It's no surprise that Dr. Leverett will use the Gannett Grant to help children.
I asked if it could be split, and half of it will go to the STAR Center, half of it will go to Friends of West Tennessee School for the Deaf. Both of those agencies are very dear to my heart, as is TREDS, the Vanderbilt group that deals with persons who have deaf blindness.
If there is an award that will bring out the service of a person like Dr. Ralph Leverett, it is a great award, because he is such an unassuming man, such a quiet man, a man that doesn't seek the limelight in any way, in fact shuns it and will run away from it. And that's why we nominated him, because here this community has an award that in different categories, his being, as I said, education and literacy, that really exemplifies the kind of work that Ralph Leverett does. And I commend the Jackson Sun and the Gannett Foundation and the others that are behind this award, and we at Union are glad to put Dr. Leverett forward for something like this.
I had surrogate parents, a doctor and his wife, whom I met when I was, I guess, about 11. And they never talked about what they just did. And they were superb examples of what it means to be available to people. And I guess for me, service is not something that I deliberately conceive of. Sometimes it may be that, but mostly it's a frame of mind. It's just something that is there, an attitude maybe. And Carl and Mildred Kratz were those people to me. They just did things for people, and it was like breathing.